Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. Stay tuned.
And a very pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the StubHub Center in Carson, California.
One play at a time, we're going to be good, man. Hey, red hot on three, what you do?
Today, the Denver Broncos on the road once again, this time to face the Los Angeles Chargers.
Beautiful day to play some football. Strap heads, man. Got to show these boys I'm the best in the league today.
Let's get after these fools. Together on three, 1, 2, 3.
A huge win for the Broncos, 23-22, their first road win within the division since 2015. Hello, and thank you for joining us for the Broncos Film Review. I'm Phil Milani, alongside Matt Boyer, Steve Atwater, Ray Crockett. He's got his shades on. He's ready to go.
Like $1 million, baby.
Hey, it's Victory Monday, man. I'm telling you, this is how the players feel. It's been since 2015, a Hollywood ending, so why not wear your shades?
Yeah, you looking like Hollywood, man. It came right down to the wire for the Broncos. What do you guys think about the game overall?
Overall, I felt that we did what we needed to do to win the game this time around. For the first time, I really felt in the second half, Steve, we came out to make plays. We weren't waiting on San Diego or the Chargers, LA Chargers, to give us the game. We said we're going to go out and take the game. And I felt the first half we played really patient, and we were really afraid that we couldn't block those guys. Right. The second half we came out, pushed the ball down the field, and found out by hold we can block them.
Yeah, we could block them. We found that out early on. These guys didn't give up one sack. I don't even know if they gave up any pressures. Yeah. Just an amazing job. And going into the game, that was really the area that I was concerned about with this offensive line, with three of the starters being out on IR. Would they be able to hold up? And man, they did a fantastic job, and getting that run game going, and then also protecting Case Keenum, especially down that last the drive there when it really counted.
Plenty of Mondays we've sat here and thought, what if the Broncos could, squeak out these close games? We've seen close losses to the Rams, the Chiefs, the Texans. What happens now if they can finally put it together? Ray mentioned it, the big plays down the stretch were the difference, and finally we found out what happens when the Broncos make those big plays in these close games.
Broncos got off to a really slow start, didn't score in the first quarter. It took a fake punt to really give them a spark.
And this is a fake punt. Wadman has Janovich with the catch, and this is going to be a first down for the Broncos. Colby Wadman on a fake punt rolled to his left. Andy Janovich, the fullback, was wide open in the flat.
Now Philip Lindsay back in. Lindsay waits, great patience. Lindsay cutting to the outside. He's got blazing speed, and he's gone. Tasmanian Devil running free for 41.
I'm proud of the offensive line, especially in the interior. We had some major keys go down with our offensive line, and they stepped up. And they were physical. 5-man
pressure. He bobbles the snap again. He's hit as he throws. That ball being intercepted by Chris Harris Jr. Harris undercut a throw to Tyrell Williams for Chris, his second interception of the season.
And I was just playing man to man and just able to finally make them pay for something. And it was a dogfight. I was man a lot, and you just got to win, man. Coach put a lot of onus on me to make plays, and I just try to do whatever I can to keep fighting.
Give it to Lindsay. Lindsay can't get there. Emmanuel and Brown collaborate for LA with a big stop.
Rivers looks left, shotgun, he pumps and throws the ball to the end zone. Wide open receiver, touchdown Chargers. He pumped, and then Keenan Allen was all by himself in the back of the end zone.
The Broncos trailed 13-7 at halftime. If you take away that big Philip Lindsay run, the offense only had 90 yards of offense, and the defense really had to keep them in it, Ray.
The defense, man, if it wasn't for them really holding down and being very aggressive and keeping those guys out of the end zone, holding them to a couple of field goals, that game would have been over soon.
That's one thing that I like to see us work on. Make sure when we come out, we can get a little bit better start, get a little bit of momentum going early. It took quite a while to get it going, and fortunately, down there when it counted, they were able to make it happen. But yeah, offensively, just wasn't enough early on.
Things looked out of sync. I mean, Steve, you and I were sitting up in the press box. That open pass to Cortland Sutton, first play of the game, we both sat there and thought, oh no, is this gonna turn out right? No, everything felt out of sync. So I think that we saw the rushing game. I mean, Philip Lindsay and Royce Freeman really take it upon themselves to move the football. The passing game really didn't come together until that second half.
Let's talk about that Keenan Allen touchdown that he had there. Looked like Chris jumped up to try and get the first break, and then he cut behind him, and he was wide open.
Well, and the thing about that is this. We were in an all pressure. So the thing about it, when you pressure, you expect, corners especially, and especially inside in the slot where Chris was, we have a clock in our head. When we call a defense, we used to call it thriller blitz, where everybody is going. We think the quarterback has about 2.33 seconds to throw the ball. So when that guy broke, Chris actually just said, hey, this is the route. And the thing you can't do, though, as a corner and as a slot guy, because of the two-way go, you have to keep your eyes locked firmly on that receiver, just in case the quarterback does have time. But Chris had a pick early, and he was pick happy. He thought he was about to go 102. And that's what happens, man. It takes one little focus, and if you lose that focus, it could be a touchdown. And that's what happened with Chris on that play.
Yeah, that's the difference between, big plays and not big plays. He had a chance to make a big play, and if the quarterback would have been under pressure and thrown it, it would have been a big play, but it winds up that pressure didn't get home. But still, in those situations, Chris has to keep that inside leverage, just readjust and stay inside and get a little depth with that, and I think he would have been able to defend it. But this is a great play call by the Chargers, and with them being able to hold off the pressure for that long and then to get the pass to him much further across the field.
And the difference, Steve, really is in the red zone. You have to change your mindset. When you're in the field, you can take chances like that because the chances are you can rebound or a free safety can help you out over the top. But in the red zone, I always tell those guys, even when I interned him, in the red zone, you make plays, not picks. So you put yourself in position to make the play, not necessarily get the interception, because you're trying to hold them to a field goal. If you do that, you're successful.
Rivers has done that his entire career, right? Make adjustments. You saw Bradley Roby, you saw Justin Simmons jump those quick slant routes early on, get some nice PBUs. Rivers put that in the back of his head, saw Chris, as Ray mentioned, get a little too forward, and then hit Keenan Allen wide open.
Chris said that Rivers was talking trash the whole game. You guys like that as a DBs, like, hey, let's play, let's go.
Man, let me tell you, I spent several games where I didn't even really get 2 or 3 passes thrown my way. So I used to try to do that on purpose. I used to go out and ask
throw the ball at you.
Yeah, I used to go out there and just talk as much as I could to the quarterback just so he get pissed off and throw the ball at me. And that's what Chris was. Chris is one of those guys. Chris is like, hey, I want to play some football today. So I love that, man. And he, hey, I felt that battle was pretty much even if you really took that. You take away the touchdown, you take away the pick. It's pretty even.
Which QB talked most trash, though, to you guys? Which QB
oh, man, back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Dan Marino.
Dan Marino?
Dan Marino was a noise talker for real. Troy Aikman was even a noise talker. I mean, we played against a bunch of Hall of Famers. And to my credit, Elway, Marino, Aikman, I got picks on all those guys.
We saw you tweet that out. Yeah, we saw that. Well, the Broncos trailed at halftime, and the Chargers actually built that lead up with the first drive in the second half.
Takes the snap, throws the end zone, wide open Antonio Gates, and that is an LA touchdown. Josie Jewell was in the vicinity, but Antonio Gates, for the 89th time in his career, catches a touchdown pass from Phillip Rivers. To put that in perspective, that's the most from any quarterback to a tight end, the combo in NFL history.
Intercepted, picked up by Von Miller. Miller trying to stay upright, and he's brought down from behind by Travis Benjamin.
My coverage, I had the back to the flat. The back, he didn't flirt to the flat, so I just fell off, and I know I had 3 receivers outside of me, so I kind of just just stayed there for the screen. He threw it to me.
Freeman into the end zone, touchdown Denver. Royce Freeman, a 3-yard touchdown run, his 5th rushing touchdown of his rookie season. And the Broncos capitalize on Von Miller's first interception of the season. Direct snap to Lindsey. Lindsey gets it, runs, steps out of a tackle, and Phillip Lindsey is into the end zone. The Broncos are in the lead. From the 20, an attempt of 30 yards for the lead, and Badgley splits the uprights from 30.
Keenum on 2nd and 5. He's got his man, Emmanuel Sanders.
Kudos to Bill Musgrave. He called it on my play, the big 38-yard play. He said that if I make the safety miss, it could be a big play. And so I had it in my mind that I'm going to make him miss. I'm going to cut back. The safety overflowed. I was able to cut back and make that big play. And then Portland came and made a big play for us. So
Case faces 5-man pressure, throws the ball middle of the field. Caught! Sutton is inside the 20. Inside the 15. There's 12 seconds. 11, 10, 9, 8. They've got time. 7, 6, 5. They kill the clock with 3 seconds.
Winning every play. We couldn't look ahead and worry about, you know, the plays that were coming down the road. We have to make sure we were locked in on the play that we were on, and that's what we did as a whole offensive unit. We locked in on the play that we were on, and we were able to execute and get in position to put BMAC in a great position to win the game for us. So
kick to win it. Snap, placement, kick on the way. It is gone! It's over! Denver celebrates like I've rarely seen in a regular season game.
No, it's obviously great. You know, whenever, like we said last week, you know, how bad do you want to get back out there to make another kick? And obviously, offense did. It made me a lot easier, you know, than you're possibly kicking a long one. They made it super easy for me again, like the Oakland game, making the kick so much easier. And you know, testament to this team to battle back the whole game. You know, the ebbs and flows of it, and they did a great job, so I appreciate them helping me out.
McMahon is coming through a couple weeks after he couldn't get it done against Houston, came back and redeemed himself with a big kick, beat the Chargers in that game. And guys, let's talk about a couple of plays here that really turned the course of this game. Let's start with the Von Miller interception. Drops off on the screen and boom, pick.
It was a perfect play, and it was a very smart heads-up play by Von. That was an all blitz, and Rivers is one who always likes to check the quick screen when you blitz, because he knows that if you all blitz him, and if he runs a screen, it only takes one block and it's to the house. And on that play, Von was smart enough to know, I call it a big IQ play. He was smart enough to know, if no one is blocking me, I'm Von Miller, if I'm rushing, it's a screen. So he peeled off with a perfect play and picked that thing out. I thought he was going to go for 6, and I was a little nervous, Steve, because he was going to get caught from behind.
Yeah,
I was like, hold on to that ball. But it was a great play by Von, and it's one of those things. That's just a heads-up IQ play, and it was outstanding.
I mean, just threw it right to Von, like you said, just an amazing play. Has the good soft hands to be able to cradle that ball from such a short throw, and you know, run it down into the end zone. I thought he was going to score, but I think he was kind of looking at himself. He was trying to, yeah, I look good here.
Phil said he didn't use the scoreboard. You talked to Von. He didn't use the scoreboard.
I don't know. I saw his eyes look up there, so I think he was lying.
But you know what, guys? The biggest thing for that play for me was this. It was the biggest momentum swing of the game, because after that, we actually outscored them 16-3. So that was the play you needed to light up StubHub, because, hey, that was really Broncos Stadium away from home.
Yes, it was.
So that's really what I felt that turned the momentum, and that's what catapulted us to this victory.
I'll give Von a pass. I think Benjamin has 4.2 speed or something
like
that.
Yeah, Von was 4.5, you know, exactly. Back in his day.
Exactly. Exactly. The other big play was the Cortland Sutton pass. Took him down all the way into a better field goal spot. It was 3rd and 7, just 3 seconds left after that. Let's break down that play. How did Sutton get so wide open?
When you have Emmanuel Sanders in the slot, when he's lined up in front of Sutton, he's clearing everything out. So that means the safeties have to respect him. And we call that the dagger route, where Emmanuel clears it out, Cortland Sutton comes underneath on a 15-yard in route. The corner has no chance to cover that unless he's a really, really good corner. And they are down to the 3rd or 4th corner, so I didn't think, no, they had no chance at all to cover that play.
Yeah, and the safety on that play, he has to respect Emmanuel Sanders, so he can't jump the route. The only person that could make that route is the corner, and like you used to back in the day, you used to jump those routes back. You even got a few picks off back in the day.
Undercut those routes, but hey, you have to be an IQ corner to do that.
Okay, all right, right.
We're pulling out the file tape.
Yeah. They don't have those old tapes. They don't remember that.
One of the things I thought was great about this Broncos offense was the adjustments that they made coming out of the second half. Bill Musgrave knew, and Case Keenum even said it afterwards, they wanted to attack those DBs, those deep safeties. They wanted to find the seams. They knew that the seams were open. We saw Cortland earlier in that 4th quarter get a big gain, a 40-yarder. Emmanuel Sanders also a huge gain, more than 30 yards. So they knew the middle of the field was open, and they wanted to attack it, and they did and when it counted most.
Yeah, great play calling by Bill Musgrave. They were able to coordinate that last 2-minute drive there. Now the Broncos, they got a chance now. You start getting on a roll here. It starts with the Steelers coming to town on Sunday.
And that's all you can do right now. You won one. Now you take it one day, one play, one game, and that's all you focus on. And with the Steelers coming to town, this is a beatable team. Now we're going to have to play very, very well to beat them, but at least you have them at home, and Ben does not play well in Broncos Stadium, so we have a shot to win this game.
You know, just like you said, we got to keep taking it one game at a time. Around the locker room, still got the 1-0 up. That's all you can focus on. This one game against the Steelers coming up here, biggest game of the season. Let's get it done.
They got the weapons. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger, you have to think, the last time Ben Roethlisberger came to Broncos Stadium, he didn't play well. He was hurt. That AFC divisional game. I know he wants redemption, and I know Antonio Brown likes going up against Chris Harris Jr. Last time, he had a career day, 2 touchdowns, over 15 catches. He didn't play in that AFC divisional game, but yeah, I think that they're going to come in very motivated.
That'll be a matchup to watch on Sunday. All right, that's going to do it for us. For Ray Crockett, Steve Atwater, Matt Blair, I'm Phil Milani. Thanks for watching the Broncos Film Review.